Bonus round. Joe Rogan, the TRT version of Bill O'Reilly, will be a trout mouth idiot until the day he dies. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's begin.
Joe Rogan hates Don Lemon.
Don Lemon, who's chief propagandist for the fucking CNN.
Christmas Day. Joe tells mystic turned crotchety old Republican Duncan Trussell that there is a clip of former CNN host Don Lemon admitting he doesn't believe corporate media.
But he got Don Lemon to say, I don't listen to mainstream news either.
The clip begins with Don giving the man some information in order to elicit a candid reaction.
Democratic lawmakers in Washington are calling Elon Musk President Musk now, and they're saying Donald Trump is the vice president or the head of communications.
What?
The man says he does not believe what Don is saying is true.
What? Wait a second. No one said that.
Don asks the man if he's been paying attention to the news, and the man says he hasn't because he's been too busy doing his thing. And for some reason, Duncan thinks this is funny.
Really? Have you not watched and paid attention to the news?
Absolutely not. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing during my day so I can try and get a better life ahead.
Don tells the man to Google it, to prove to him that members of Congress have said President Musk. The man complies, but rather than reading any of the articles, he goes on a rant about no one trusting the news.
Okay, do you have your phone with you?
I do.
Why don't you Google right now?
Yes, tell me.
President Musk and see what comes up.
No. But that's already a loaded question, you realize.
Tell me, give me the sources.
Axios, Business Insider.
Oh.
We don't trust
Keep
any
going,
of these. The
keep
common
going,
man doesn't
keep
trust
going,
any of this.
keep going.
ABC News,
Oh,
Washington
keep
Post,
going.
New York
So what?
Times,
Oh, keep going.
The Atlantic.
Oh!
I don't trust any of these.
Oh!
I don't trust any of them.
Okay.
I don't trust any of these. We're the common man. We don't trust any of these.
Ha ha ha. Had this Fruit Loop bothered to read any of the articles, he would have found evidence that he was wrong. He would have seen tweets from Democratic lawmakers saying President Musk. He would have seen this video of Representative Brad Sherman saying this.
We had a deal. We negotiated a deal. And then Musk decided to change the deal. Do I call him President Musk?
You might have even seen these AI tweets from Representative Mark Pocan, this one depicting Musk being sworn in at an inauguration, and this one of Trump as a dog with Musk as his handler. But instead, this guy decides to go on a tinfoil hat side adventure, injecting his dipshittery into the conversation.
What a dipshit.
Then the moment Joe was waiting for arrives.
Okay. Well then.
I get a lot of people coming to me saying, I only watch, I don't watch corporate media anymore.
Right.
Oh, he said a lot of people coming to him. I misunderstood. I got a hard on when I saw that.
Joe has to admit he was wrong, and he also admits to getting a boner. His bias once again caused him to misinterpret something that should have been easy to understand.
Sexual arousal in men is sometimes associated with a ringing in the ears.
Good point. Let's see if he can understand what this conversation is about now that he has heard it twice and is, I'm assuming, flaccid.
Dude, that is incredible.
Well, that guy just geniusly broke down
Yeah.
this illogical assumption that
Nope, he still thinks Don Lemon lost that somehow.
Don Lemon crushed that silly motherfucker.
You're right about that, but because Joe has trained himself to believe everything that comes from Don's mouth is incorrect, he takes the side of the guy who is weaseling out of admitting he is wrong by changing the subject. It would seem that out of Joe, Duncan, this guy, and Don, it's only Don that has the brain power to remember what was being disputed 30 seconds ago. So who is this silly motherfucker?
No one trusts the government. No,
Notice the microphone in his hand.
we don't trust any of that anymore.
Well,
Independent news, we are the ones that own the news now. People trust me. They don't trust MSNBC because I care and I'm actually one of them.
So this is the guy we should all trust because he cares and he's one of us. This is Will John, host of the podcast The Way of Will John. And the reason he doesn't have time to keep up with political news is because he is busy tackling the tough questions.
Is the earth flat? Is it round? Are we getting information that's incorrect or from other dimensions?
He hasn't even fucking figured out what shape the earth is. And the answer is just more woo-woo, weak bitch, horseshit, bullshit.
Flat, round, square, whatever, is irrelevant. Doesn't matter. It's not even an important question. That's not what it's all about. What it's all about is you getting rid of your fear.
One of his most popular guests is a specialist.
I specialize in out-of-body experiences.
And his most famous guest is legendary bullshit artist and ding-dong supreme, David Icke. David hit the scene comparing himself to Jesus on live TV.
Is that true?
Yes, you see, the thing is that it's quite funny, really. 2,000 years ago, had a guy called Jesus sat here and said these same things, you would still be laughing.
David also believes an alien race of shape-shifting reptilians are trying to control the planet through dirty politics in order to establish global fascism.
In simple terms, there is a predator race which take a reptilian form. They're feeding off humanity. They've turned humanity into a slave race. They demand human sacrifice. That's where Satanism comes in. They feed off human energy, particularly feed off the energy of children.
The Way of Will John is an amalgam of unoriginal and untrue ideas about the mind, the body, the government, and the universe. His audience is comprised of weak men and women who aren't tough enough to navigate emotional ups and downs on their own, and morons who believe in magic. Just like Joe and Duncan's audience.
I think some telepathy is real.
It is real.
I think it is real.
When did you realize Joe Rogan was a whiny little bitch?
October 6, 2018. After months of trash talk and hostility, Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor finally met in the octagon and fought for the lightweight championship of the world. I watched from my living room. This was the biggest fight in the sport's history. The result? A furious Khabib Nurmagomedov beat the crap out of the brash Irishman, finishing him with a rear naked choke in the 4th round. It was clear that Conor McGregor had finally pissed off the wrong guy. The referee stepped in and stopped the fight, but Khabib wasn't done. He talked shit to the beatdown Conor, and then he went after Conor's teammates, jumping out of the cage and attacking them. This was arguably one of the greatest moments in sports history. It was definitely the greatest moment in cage fighting history. In a sport of businessmen who pretend to have beef and talk trash to hype fights, a real motherfucker shows up and shows the world what happens when you say the wrong thing to him. Look at this picture. A guy nicknamed the fucking Eagle jumps out of the cage and attacks 4 guys after fighting for close to 20 minutes. This is fucking badass. And what does Joe Rogan think about something so awesome?
This is horrible. It can get nasty. This is the nastiest I've ever seen. Yeah, this is not how you want it to be in this sport. This is not how we want to represent ourselves.
Jumping out of the octagon like that and attacking someone in the crowd.
And I
mean, that is so stupid and so unnecessary and so foolish.
Oh God, it's horrible. He's acting like some old biddy clutching her pearls. What is with this guy? This is it's foolish. What a little bitch.
But I feel like this entire event has been marred by him jumping out of the octagon and attacking Dylan Dennis like that. And it's just the whole thing is so foolish.
He thinks the whole thing has been marred? This is fucking cage fighting, not ballet, princess.
I mean, this is awful. Incredible performance by Khabib, but then to have this afterwards is just so disappointing.
I remember being in my living room, recognizing that I was witnessing history and wishing this guy would just shut the fuck up and go find a corner to cry in. Finally, Joe proves that not only is he wrong all the fucking time on his podcast, he's also wrong about the fight game, which he's supposed to be an expert in.
He's going to experience hate like he's never experienced in his entire career. If he thought he experienced hate before this is going to be on a whole nother level.
In fact, after this, Khabib got nothing but love. His popularity skyrocketed. In an interview 2 years later, the president of the UFC, Dana White, rattled off some statistics about Khabib's rise in popularity. He said he's one of the biggest stars in the sport. He said he's got hundreds of millions of views on social media. He's broken records on Instagram. And he is by far the #1 most played character in the UFC video game globally. It's almost like fight fans like it when badass fighters do badass shit.
A patron is added to the global register.
Welcome to the full tasty 3141. I hereby bestow upon you the honorific Recta Lina. I thank you very much, and I appreciate you. The bonus round is over. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you're feeling generous, sign up to the Patreon. I'm your ally in the fight against disinformation, Greb Kered.